Better late than never, yeah? All right. So I'm going to go back and take my seat next to my best buddy. All right. So going ahead and taking a comfortable seat. You're welcome to close your eyes. And again, your seat can be on the ground, it can be in a chair, wherever is comfortable. Where you can rest your hands on the tops of the thighs. Relax the shoulders. And go ahead and drop into, you all are accustomed now to finding the support beneath you, lengthening your spine, and now drop into your breathing. And begin to make your breath smooth. This practice of balancing the inhale and exhale, either through Ujjayi breathing or simply just the balanced inhale and exhale, in and out through the nose, is incredibly nurturing to your nervous system and your whole physiology. For some reason, it's taken us hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years to realize what the yogis knew thousands of years ago about the breath. And they may not have known the science behind it, but they did know what they felt in the mind and the body. And while you're working with your breathing, I'm going to share with you some of Gil Hedley. The individual body, the singular example of you in your irreducible uniqueness, is the most meaningful starting point for understanding the whole human body. By whole human body, I mean to say the sum total of human bodies on the planet. Appreciation for every single body renders the picture of the whole body ever more accurately. Look around. Variation is the norm. If you use the quote average or quote mean human body as the mirror for your body, you will never recognize yourself in that mirror. The quote average body represents nobody. All of humankind together is the funhouse mirror into which we can look to see ourselves most clearly. That is because when you reflect upon and identify with this whole, your own personal expression of the human form is mirrored by that of every other. What we share universally is that we are, each and every one of us, a unique variation on the theme of the human form. This is something we all share, regardless of your starting point. The human form is the great equalizer, each to a number unique as we are. And this viewpoint requires a shift in consciousness. Recognizing yourself in the singular expression of another, you'll find yourself accepting your own. At the bottom of your next exhale, release any control on your breath, but can you stay present with where the movement is in your body as your body is being breathed? And honoring your presence and your gift in the presence of the whole human form, all of us. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. To open our practice, let's chant the sound of Om and sing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Take a deep inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And with your next exhale, you can bow your head towards your heart. It's honoring your own uniqueness. And then as you release your hands and lift your gaze, just remembering the whole of us, all of us. All right. And so to start our practice though, let's bring a little more energy into us. So let's do Kalabati breathing. So remembering this is the bellows breath. So the fire in the belly, the fire in the solar plexus that is producing the rapid exhale. All right? And when you suspend the breath, and we've been working on this, when you suspend the breath, draw the abdominals up and in and see if you feel this opening through the chest. Kind of allow that to happen. All right? So to begin, take a deep inhale through both nostrils. Exhale out both nostrils. Partial inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale through both and suspend. Exhale completely. Inhale through both. Exhale out both. Partial inhale. Exhale completely. Again, inhale deeply. Tone the abdomen. Exhale completely. We'll do one more round. Inhaling. Partial inhale. Exhale completely. One more time, you're going to suspend the inhale. Exhale completely. Allow yourself to breathe. So that is to get us so we are ready. We're ready to move. So let's come up to standing. Come up to standing. I'm just going to change this view just slightly. And we're going to start with the feet a little wider than hip distance because we're going to do another little standing breathing practice, the pushing hands practice. So I'm going to just do it gently a little bit. All right, and you're going to step the feet a little wider, soften the knees, and just begin. So as you're swinging the arms and you feel the arms like touching somewhere on your body, depending on the length of your arms and all the different details of how you are unique. But wherever your hands are touching your body, that is waking something up in you. You're breathing through the nose to start. This exhale is going to be forcefully out the mouth in a moment, just like you're blowing out a candle. So when you're ready, you can join me. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you slowly let everything come back. Breathing in through the nose. All right, great. And then go ahead and step the feet closer together, no big deal, but because you're going to take your hands, put my glasses on so I can see you better. You're going to take your hands and just on the crest of the pelvis. You can put your fingertips at the ilia, right at the ASIS, right? The point, and then you go, oh yeah, and how does it go around the back? How do I come across the crest and all the way to those hip points? I'm palpating my own body there, feeling across that crest. I'm kind of going back and forth. Okay, getting an idea of that whole curve of the crest of your pelvis. You might even feel a difference on the two sides. So there's that bony crest. And then and some of the movements we're going to do, you're going to want to create space between the bone and the flesh above the bone. Okay? And then can we keep the hands on the ASIS for a moment and on that crest, and just shift the weight over into one, like the right leg, and just pick up your left knee. Notice what happens to the crest on the left. When you lift your left knee up and put it down, you feel those ASIS and how they move. Shift the weight to the left and pick up the right. So feel the ASIS on that side change position, right? One more time, you could go right, you pick up the knees, so you're doing hip flexion. There goes the left one, dropping back. And you shift to the left leg and you pick up the right. Oh, the right one's dropping back. Okay, and if you step your left foot forward, just like, not a huge step, but like you were walking, and there again, you feel the right one is a little forward, the left one is tilted back, and you step back, and you go, okay, I'm gonna step my right foot forward. Oh, okay, the left one is tilted forward, the right one is back. Come back to center. Okay, getting a better idea, all right? So this crest, we have that idea. So let's grab your chair and put it on your mat. And move your blankets out of the way, if they're still there. And some of us, depending on the length of your hamstrings, some of us will want to have just a block on the seat of the chair. Or some of us might want 2 blocks on the seat of the chair. Or some of us might want, it depends on the chair, right? Some of us might want, I have a blanket on the back of my chair. So there's lots of different options. It depends on the length of the hamstrings. So we're gonna stand on your left leg first, my left leg as well. We're all gonna stand on our left foot. And I'm not gonna face straight towards my chair. I'm gonna face a little off to an angle. So my foot is not facing, my standing leg foot is not facing the seat of the chair. And I have to figure out my distance because I'm going to bring my right foot to whichever of those heights is the right one and my distance. So I'm going to put my right heel, and I notice I want to back up my left foot slightly because I want my left leg under me, but not closer to the chair. And as I have my right leg up there, I also want to notice, am I able, without shoving something, am I able, as I notice this front hip crease on the right leg, from the pubic bone all the way across to the greater trochanter at the outer right. Notice that crease, it goes all the way over there. And as we're gonna, in a moment, we're gonna have a little side bend. In the side bend, I'm gonna want my pelvis going away from the lifted leg. Okay, so let's inhale and lift your left arm. Reach into your standing leg. Deep inhale, and as you exhale, can you take the pelvis away from the lifted leg? Just like you do side angle, triangle, the pelvis goes away from this lifted leg. And can you bring your attention to the crest of the iliac on the left side? And can you create more space there between right at the top of the iliac and that, what's that tissue that is going up up towards the back of the rib cage, up towards the back of the diaphragm. Deep breathing. Like clouds in the sky, gliding the layers across each other. All right, and then inhale, come back up. Let's take support under the knee, step it down. We're gonna go to the second side. Second side, so that we're gonna stand on the right and take the left leg up. Sometimes if I had a wall right here, I'd have my chair, against the wall. So you might have a setup that you could do that. And then once again, I want to notice, do I have that groin crease coming all the way across from the left pubic bone, top of the thigh, all the way out to the greater trochanter. So it's widening. Inhale, lift the right arm, reach down into the right foot, the right heel, the full shape of the right heel. And exhale, start to side bend over your straight leg. Taking the pelvis away from the lifted leg. And then adding from the crest of the pelvis on the right, especially the back part of it, the part that's often more difficult to feel, can you make some space at that flesh? And you might, Michael, turn your chest a little towards your lifted leg. Turn the chest slightly, no, the other way, toward the lifted leg. Yeah, now, there you go. Now what happens too, Michael, if you take the right shoulder blade and reach it towards your right upper arm. Let the right upper arm kind of curl forward and around by the right ear. There you go. So now, Michael, as you're turning toward the lifted leg a little more, there you go. See if you can find the back right iliac. You might have to turn even a little more towards the left. And then the right shoulder blade toward the right upper arm bone. Keep it going. That's it, good. That's it, exactly, Jackie, right? You feel the strength and how when you're reaching from that right upper arm bone, how much that affects what's happening through the lower ribs. Great, that's it. And then Tina, can you straighten your left elbow? Good. Great, that's it. Okay, and then we'll come back up. Wonderful. Step down. Okay, and then turn toward your chair or the ground, the chair for now, and take a downward facing dog. So you're on your hands on the chair seat, walk the feet back, look out, Diego. Thank you, Diego. Reaching the upper arm bones reaching the shoulder blades toward the upper arm bones. Good. And then let's go ahead and step forward toward the chair. All right, so now we're gonna face the chair. We're gonna stand on the left leg. And even though I'm facing my chair, I'm still gonna take my left foot and have just a little turn out to the left. Shift the weight to the left, right foot up on the back of the chair. Or on the blocks, depending on the hamstring. Inhale, lift both arms. Lengthening all the way up, not just through the arms, but on the standing leg. Can you reach from the psoas, lower psoas, into the left heel? And then from the middle part of your psoas toward your heart, all the way, that line, lifting up through the heart. Where's the throat? Draw the throat back, lengthen through the crown, and release. Switch sides. So right foot will have a slight turn out. Left leg's up on the blocks or the back of the chair. Again, I want to pay attention to that whole hip crease on the front, the lifted leg. When you're ready, lift your arms. Reach all the way down into the heel from the right low belly to the full shape of the right heel. Good, and from the middle and upper psoas, reach up towards your heart, your throat, crown of the skull. Exhale, release. Good, and then step down. Wonderful. I'm gonna save this twisty part, I think. Let's move the chair out of the way. Well, let's take a downward dog, one more downward dog with the chair seat, so that we have a little symmetry. And then we'll walk towards the chair, and you can, if your chair is on your mat, you can move it a little bit out of the way. All right, let's grab your blocks. And let's bring, sorry, I just have to remember what I was thinking this morning. Oh yeah, let's take a wide stance. We're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold. And so you might want blocks, you might need them. You can sit them there, sit them down in front of you if you know you need them. Then take your hands up on your hips. There's the ASIS. Inhale, lift through the top of the breastbone. Exhale, bow forward. Let's take hands, find either blocks or the ground. And we're gonna walk forward, downward dog arms. Again, hands can be on blocks or the floor. Finger pads on the ground or the palms. Balance the weight between the ball of the foot and the heel. Walk the hands back. Bring your right hand into the space between your two hands, either on a block or the floor. Reach down. Let's keep the weight even on the feet. And inhale. Opening up. Exhale, come back towards the ground. Switch the placement of your hands. So now there's the right hand at the mid. The wrist is going to be under the right shoulder as you're turning. So let's reach down into that arm on the ground. Find your footprints. Right hand might be up on the hip to start. And you're rotating. So even as you turn towards your right, you feel that space, even though it might be subtle, between the crest of the pelvis and then exhale back to the ground. Walk the hands out one more time, downward dog arms. Keep working with your breathing. Walk the hands back. Shift them up to your hips. Come up to standing. Nice. And then let's go ahead and we'll step the feet, we'll step them back together. And for a moment, just standing in mountain pose. Lengthening up through the crown. Noticing the weight in the feet. Noticing your breathing. And the back body. Noticing the back of your body. Can you bring your attention to the back of the pelvis? That area where those two ilia meet the sacrum. Notice what that space feels like right now. Where's the weight in your feet? What is that space like back there? Does it feel narrow? Does it feel balanced? If you shift your weight back slightly, what happens to that space? If you shift the weight forward onto the toes more, what happens to that space? Where do you want to be? All right, and then we're going to step the feet wide for warrior two to a rising warrior. Turn your left foot in and your right foot out. And then inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, warrior two. So top of the shoulders relaxes down. Finding the back heel. Let's relax the back arm and inhale to a rising warrior. Even where your left hand touches your back inner thigh, tone that. Exhale back, warrior two. And in warrior two, as you gaze over the front, you feel the stability of the back heel. We learn, we find the stability. And we also learn from the past. It's always there. There's the present, and there's the horizon toward the future. Let's turn the palms to the sky. Inhale, lift the arms, straighten your front leg, and turn your feet the other way. Exhale, warrior two when you're ready. Relaxing the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, rising warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Can the breath be smooth? And then we'll relax both arms, straighten the front leg, make the feet parallel. Let's step the feet back together and just pause again for a moment. Great. All right. I want to do side angle because I want us to, again, feel the side body. So we'll go to your right, have a block or so at the right outer shin. Can you line yourself up heel to heel? That's usually enough width for most of us, heel to heel, rather than heel to arch is kind of narrow. And when you're ready, let's inhale the arms back out. And exhale, side angle. So there goes the pelvis away from the front thigh as you come over and down. So we often talk about reaching from the crest to the heel. Now, can you get your awareness into that space at the top of the pelvis? Right at the top of the pelvis, on the back leg. And how do you lengthen from there? How do you lengthen from there? The heart is turned open. Inhale, let's come up. And we'll spin the feet the other way. Second side. All right. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, here we go. Warrior two. So pelvis moves away from the front thigh. Arm can come up. Can you get into that space? What happens when you go towards the iliac crest on the back leg, around towards the back of it, that part of it that's a little harder to sense? And from there, reach to the heel. And then from there, how can you lengthen up? And then we're going to inhale, come up. Exhale, let's make the feet parallel and bow forward. Hands are going to come underneath those shoulders. And they could be on the blocks. Again, please give yourself enough height so that your legs can be straight. And then you might walk your hands back towards that space between your feet. We're going to bow forward. And then we're going to walk the hands back out. Shift them to the hips. And come up to standing. And let's step the feet back together. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, hands back in front of your heart. Inhale, lift both of your arms. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good. Step the feet a little wider. So when we do triangle pose, we don't have the feet quite as wide, right? The feet are a little narrower than warrior two. Or right side. Block or blocks. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, triangle. So initially, if you want to put the hand on the hip, as you bring your right hand down, and you might have that left hand right at the crest of the pelvis. So you can kind of go, oh, hi, I'm going to work with you. I'm working right here. I'm going to turn my heart up towards the sky. Balancing the weight in the hips, heart's turning. Reaching your left arm up. And then reach your left arm over your ear. Palm either towards the ground, or palm facing behind you. Can you imagine on the back leg, can you imagine if you had the outer left heel at a wall? Would that be able to help you to find this sense of your whole inner body and the lengthening we're looking for through the side. And we're going to inhale, come up. And spin your feet the other way. Taking your time, get yourself ready. Inhale, take the arms out. Exhale, pelvis goes away from the front leg. Hand might come to the pelvic crest. And there's the left hand coming down to find something, blocks or, and again, you can start with the blocks tall. As you make little adjustments, you go, oh yeah, away from the front thigh, my pelvis. Perineum's pointing towards the back foot, turning the chest open. And when you're ready, then you can take your right arm up. And then the right arm over. Palm either towards the floor or palm facing behind you. Shoulder blade, when your shoulder blade of that lifted arm reaches towards the upper arm bone, does that help you find that space? At the side body, from the back crest of the pelvis to the back heel, from that back crest through those lower ribs, up towards the shoulder blade to the upper arm. Good. Can you take 2 more breaths there? 2 more breaths. Yeah, that's it. Great. Good, good, good. And then inhale, come on up. Great. Make your feet parallel. And then walk your feet back together. All right, so let's take your blocks towards the top of your mat, whatever that is. And let's inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, forward fold. Bowing forward, releasing the head and neck. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, downward facing dog. You could either have hands on blocks or hands on the ground. Inhale, come forward to plank. So a little support. So the abdominal organs, even as the inner thighs are toned and strong, abdominal organs lift up into the back body. Then exhale, go ahead and bring your knees down and then your chest. Hands along the side ribs. Inhale, let's take a little cobra pose. Exhale, lower. We're going to do 2 more cobra poses. So you might notice like, oh, what happens there at the pelvis? How does that, do I go ahead and allow that to dive into my body? What's happening back there? So when you're ready, inhale, cobra. So feel where the sacrum wants to go. Yeah. What sacrum wants to go a little into the body. That's important. Exhale, lower down again. And then when you're ready, one more time. Inhale, cobra. Tone at the inner thighs. Good. Exhale, lower. Inhale to all fours. Exhale to child's pose. If child's pose is okay for your knees, take the hips back toward the heels and just make a little stack with your fists or use a block to go under the forehead. So now broad at the back body, broad between lower ribs, low back, pelvis. All right, great. Walk the hands back. Let's lift yourself up. Walk forward. There's all fours. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, left leg back, right arm forward. How do you support the back body? Exhale, lower. Inhale on all fours. Exhale, right leg, left arm. Gaze can be down towards the ground, back of the neck is long. Exhale, lower. Inhale there. Exhale, downward facing dog or puppy. Just make sure your chair is not in your way there. Because with your next inhale, lift your right leg up. Come onto the ball of the left foot and bring your right foot forward, low lunge. You can draw the blocks back in, frame the front foot. Inhale, upright lunge. And inhale the arms out. Exhale, plank. Downward dog. Hands can be on blocks or the floor. Let's inhale and take the left leg up. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, upright. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow. Let's inhale, upright. And exhale your hands in front of your heart. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step your left foot back. So we're going to take this into a twist. So you've got your left foot back, right foot forward. There you are in a lunge. Grab your blocks if you don't have them. Let's use them. And let's bring your left hand block closer to the right big toe. And then take your right hand up on your pelvis, starting to rotate. So on the left side, from the crest of the pelvis to that soft tissue as you turn towards your right. How do you make some length right there? Oh, I noticed that sometimes I like to do a little back bend there. That's not helpful. I need to keep some space in my low back as I turn. And then once you're turned, you're like, that feels right. Then drop the right arm down and forward and up for a revolved side angle. Pavrita Parsvakonasana. Exhale, release the arm, turn back towards the ground. We're going to step back to downward dog. And just notice the right side, your left side. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, let's step the left foot forward. Bring your blocks in. Bring the right hand block closer to the left big toe. And then left hand up on your hip, right up on the crest of the pelvis. And as you exhale, start to turn the torso toward the left. Notice what happens if you lift the abdominal organs, the deep abdominal organs toward the back body. Does that give you more space at the front left hip? I'm just curious there. When you're ready, then you'll bring the left arm. I like to drop it forward and pick it up if you want to add the arm. It's optional, always. Is the right inner thigh toned? Let's exhale, turn back towards the ground. Move the right hand block out of the way and step forward. And bow forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. And then let's release the arms. Great. All right, let's come down to the ground, and you're gonna want a blanket. So with your blanket, we're gonna go towards Janushashasana, revolve Janushashasana, so the Pavrita Janushashasana. I folded my blanket to as much of a square as it would. And I'm going to sit on the point of that. The point of that square. So we're going to sit down and let's take your right leg out and bend your left knee. When you bring your left foot toward, so that the heel is coming a little more towards the perineum rather than the foot meeting. I don't have my foot on my inner thigh of the straight leg. You might end up needing a couple of things. One, if this leg isn't lying on the ground, then shore up that space. Put enough support under that so that that leg feels supported. Yeah, and you might also put another blanket under the pelvis so that the pelvis is sitting a little higher. That might be better for you. All right. Then let's take the right hand to the inner thigh of your right leg. Start to walk yourself out. You might find the ankle or shin and let yourself put more weight into this right sitting bone, into the straight leg sit bone. Take your left arm, reach it up, over. Okay, so the sit bone of the bent knee, let that become light, let it go with you. Bring your felt sense into the crest of the pelvis on that back side. How do you find length? Through the whole side, the side of the pelvis, the side of the ribs, maybe even, you might even feel it at the upper back, neck. Inhale, come up. Take your hand to support the bent knee. Straighten that leg, bend the other one. Make sure to put, if you had whatever support you had on the other side, put at least that much, even if this side is different. Let's make the balance of support even on the two sides. If the hips allow there to be more of this oblique angle, that would be great. And then start to take the right or left arm out along the straight leg. Breathing, pausing to notice the breath. So again, the pelvis, as you come over your straight leg, again, there goes the pelvis away from the straight leg. And then you're gonna add the arm. Palm is either towards the floor or behind you. The right sit bone is light. You don't need to hold it down. Yeah, so as you lengthen through this side body, this is a different side. You know, you might even notice something in the side of the bent knee leg, that lateral line. All right, let's inhale, come up. And support the bent knee to come. And let's take both legs forward. And you can come off of the blanket if you want to. You're going to take both legs forward, hands behind you. And you can point the hands away from you, the fingers away from you. Straighten both legs, lift through the top of the chest. Broaden across the collarbones. Lift up through the throat. Inhale deeply, exhale, and let's release that. Great. Take the hands to the knees and rub around the knees. Okay. Now let's take, we're gonna come down to lying on your back, but let's take one of your blankets and make it into a longer blanket, yeah? You can take another blanket on top of that one. I might use two blankets. And then we're gonna come in front of those blankets to lie down. Then once you lie down, you're gonna pick up the pelvis, slide the blankets under your pelvis. Yes. Oh gosh, I even have the urge for one more blanket, but we'll go with this. Let's bring the right knee up to the chest. And I'm gonna take my hands behind my thigh rather than below my knee. Right knee up. There's the right ilia going into that one position when I lifted my knee and standing, I remember. And can you just take the left leg towards straight? It might not go completely straight. That's okay. But I just am noticing like, okay, so on the right, that right ASIS dropping back. The sit bone on the right is lifting up towards the back of the right leg. And then I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going to bring my left leg up. Now I've got both legs up. I take my hands behind the left leg. So I get the left knee to the chest. And take the right leg out. So I notice on the straight leg, the ASIS comes a little forward, just slightly forward. Where on the bent knee side, it's going a little back. These are the things I want happening when I'm walking too. And then we're gonna bring the right knee up. Now I've got both knees up. I'm gonna go ahead and hug both knees toward my chest. I'll take a little modified happy baby with the pelvis lifted slightly. Hands on my ankles or shins. Then I'm gonna bring the soles of the feet toward each other, knees wide apart. I don't have to have my feet touching. Then I'm going to bring my knees toward each other, toward my chest. And then I'm going to take my knees and feet away from me. One foot goes to the floor, then the other. Pick up my pelvis, scoop my blankets toward my heels, and take Shavasana.
The individual body. Just noticing your body. Notice if something changed, even as you were lying there on your back. And you might have noticed something in regards to those two hip points. Maybe something feels different from when you first laid down for Shavasana. The singular example of you in your irreducible uniqueness is the most meaningful starting point for understanding the whole human body. And by whole human body, the sum total of human bodies on the planet. Appreciation for every single body renders the picture of the whole body ever more accurately. Look around. Variation is the norm. If you use the average of the human body as a mirror for your body, you will never recognize yourself in that mirror. The average body represents no body. All of humankind together is the funhouse mirror into which we can look to see ourselves most clearly. That is because when you reflect upon and identify with this whole, your own personal expression of the human form is mirrored by that of every other. What we share universally is that we are, each and every one of us, a unique variation on the theme of the human form. This is something we all share. The human form is the great equalizer. Each
to a number unique as we are. This viewpoint requires a shift in consciousness, recognizing yourself in the singular expression of another. You'll find yourself accepting your own. And in the gratitude for you, take a deep breath. And mindfully make a transition over to one side. Use the support of your arms as you come back up to sitting. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Namaste. Thank you for being here. Take good care, be well. I'll be here tomorrow teaching, so you're welcome to join me. Let's see. Let me stop this recording. All right.